Subscribe and hit the bell icon to never miss another update from India Forums.
And I have very middle class values. तो जितना भी हम जहाँ पर भी जाए हमको अपना लोणचं पाहिजे. हाँ, हमारा लोणचं आणि पापड़ पाहिजे. आपको जितना भी ना फर्स्ट यू विल बी लाइक ये क्या है. आपको देख के हम नहीं बोलते ना ये क्या है. मतलब आप भी उठ के चले आते हैं वो मुँह लेके, तो आपको रोज़ रोज़ बोलते नहीं होंगे ना कि क्या है. तो आप हैं जो हैं, हम हैं जो हैं. एंड टू द वंस who want to hate me, do it, but watch my videos, monetize my content. Thank you. मुझे तो attention पसंद है. I'll be honest. Why not? And if younger boys are hitting on me, it makes me feel younger. And I was born in a bar, in a club, in a bar, whatever you want to call it. But for me, it is a temple. मेरे लिए वो मंदिर है. तो लोग जितना भी बोलना चाहें, मेरे को उधर बहुत इज्जत मिली. जो मेरे को रास्ते पे नहीं मिलती. कि मेरा ये भी कहना है कि अगर मेरे ट्रांसजेंडर होने से आपका स्ट्रेट होना या मर्द होना, मर्दानगी आपकी इतनी डगमगाती है, तो आप कितने मर्द हो. क्योंकि मेरे को आपकी उपस्थिति से कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. आपके मर्द होने से, औरत होने से हमें कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं. तो आपको इतना क्यों प्रॉब्लम, इतना कतराते क्यों है. योर पाथ मेकर एंड नॉट अ पाथ ब्रेकर. So you are going to make sure that we don't have a place at the table. We have a new table only. And I will get that table.
Sushant Divgikar, who has definitely made his presence felt, spoke about his upcoming projects, about his phenomenal work for the LGBTQ community, and much more. Let's hear him out for more. So tell us something about Janaganaman.
Namaste everyone, this is Rani Kohinoor, and thank you for having me on India Forums. It's always a pleasure. My latest podcast that I've been featured in, Janaganaman, is basically to celebrate our freedom fighters, and there are different stories that are being told by different artists. I chose to tell the story of Rani Lakshmibai. तो मुझे बहुत ऐसे, क्योंकि मेरा ड्रैग नेम रानी कोहिनूर है, तो और वो तो मतलब हमारे बहुत सारी पीढ़ियों के लिए इंस्पिरेशन रहेंगी. ऐसा नहीं है कि हमारे जनरेशन में ख़त्म हो जाएंगे, पर उनकी जो कहानी है और उनका जो हौसला था, आई थिंक दैट वाज समथिंग दैट रियली ड्रू मी टू टेल हर स्टोरी. सो इट वाज माय गुड फॉर्चून. It's my honor to have told her story.
With the growing popularity of podcasts these days, what do you think is about your podcast that will compel the audience to hear it?
I think that in this podcast they're real stories, but we are humanizing freedom fighters. क्योंकि उनको ऐसे देखा जाता है कि they are superhumans. They were humans like you and me, and if they could do it, तो हम भी कर सकते हैं. And according to me, patriotism is in today's day and age can be, ऐसे कहते हैं कि कोई जंग नहीं है तो हम कैसे दिखाएं, क्रांति कैसे करें. But I think that even for example for the transgender community, बहुत सारी चीज़ें हैं जहाँ पर we have to keep fighting for our equal rights, and I think that वो भी क्रांति ही है. Even for the general audience, I think that patriotism can be that you treat the other person, जो आपके fellow Indians हैं, भारतवासी हैं, उनको आप एक इक्वल नज़रिए से देखें. तो आई थिंक दैट व्हेन दैट हैपन्स यू ऑटोमेटिकली बीइंग patriotic to your country. You're not hating on anyone. You're not discriminating against caste, religion, gender, and orientation. तो ऐसे सारे जो ये हम अलग कर लेते हैं लोगों को based on all these things, वो नहीं होना चाहिए. I think according to me that is patriotism.
This is the first time that you're doing a project as Rani, something your fans have always loved you for. How excited are you to embrace this, and how did you decide on it?
Actually, this is not the first thing I'm doing as Rani. I have been on television as Rani. In fact, the first drag queen to be on national television on a reality show as Rani Kohinoor. And then of course I just came back from Hollywood, where I was on a billboard in Times Square, one of the biggest billboards on Times Square. And my show was nominated for an MTV Music and Film Award. So, and I represented the country. So I think first of all, I don't call them fans. They are like, my audience is my God. So for me, they are like family. So I think if it's not for them and they love, then what I'm doing makes no sense. तो मेरे हिसाब से यही है कि हमें जितना प्यार मिलता है, हमें सराहा जाता है एज आर्टिस्ट, कलाकारों को, तो हमें भी उनको उतनी इज्जत देनी चाहिए. एंड आई थिंक दैट आर्टिस्ट जो भी है वो अपने ऑडियंस की वजह से ही है. सो as you can see, I have just performed and I will just be performing in a while again. So it's only for the audience. वरना मुझे अपने लिए गाना होता तो हम रील्स बना के घर पे ही कर लेते ना.
Okay, so what is the whole idea, the story behind your name, Rani Kohinoor?
आई थिंक ड्रैग एज अ परफॉर्मेंस आर्ट. एक तो ये होता है कि ड्रैग एज अ परफॉर्मेंस आर्ट ये एक कला है. और हमारे देश में सदियों से ड्रैग हैज़ बिन पार्ट ऑफ आवर कल्चर. सिर्फ इसको ड्रैग बुलाया नहीं जाता था. सो वी यूज टू बी कन्फ्यूज कि इसको नाम क्या दें. when men used to perform as women, women used to perform as men. They still do, even in rural and more the tier 2 tier 3 cities which we call tier 2. But even in the more remoter places in India, there have always been people that perform. Even transgender people perform as men and women. So I think when you challenge gender stereotypes and you kind of take on a character of another gender, you're automatically doing drag. And because you're performing a character, right? So I think that for me, I started doing drag because it was a political statement. I also got to understand my transness. And I think that Rani Kohinoor was created by who I call my drag mother, Keshav Suri, who is the executive director of the Lalit Hospitality Group. And I was born in a bar, in a club, in a bar, whatever you want to call it. But for me, it is a temple. मेरे लिए वो मंदिर है. तो लोग जितना भी बोलना चाहें, मेरे को उधर बहुत इज्जत मिली, जो मेरे को रास्ते पे नहीं मिलती. और मेरे जैसे बहुत सारी बहनें हैं जो हमारी ट्रांसजेंडर बहनें हैं जिनको नहीं मिलती इज्जत. सो आई थिंक दैट ये अगेन नज़रिए की बात है. सो आप अगर आपका नज़रिया बदल के हमें एज एन आर्टिस्ट देखेंगे, नॉट एज अ पीस ऑफ मीट और सेक्शुअलाइजर्स, तो फिर ये then you can enjoy my content or my performances, my talent. If you see me as something that you want to see me as, तो फिर ये हमारी तो गलती नहीं है, हम बदल नहीं सकते. तो आपको नज़रिया बदलें आप. आई थिंक दैट इज़ मेरी गुजारिश होगी. या नहीं भी बदले तो हमारा कुछ कम नहीं होता. बट आई थिंक दैट इट इज़ वेरी बेसिक टू गिव रिस्पेक्ट टू गेट रिस्पेक्ट. सो आई थिंक थ्रू ड्रैग आई वॉन्टेड टू काइंड ऑफ शो दैट you can change people's mind through performance art.
You come across as a very confident, a very positive person, but I'm sure, like every human, you too have your bad days. On those days, how do you lift yourself up?
Yeah, I think it's very human to have bad days. Yeah, I think to kind of be also, how do you say, it's toxic positivity, I think it's called also, because I think that to give this idea that every day is going to be a great day and all that, no, it's some days you will feel like absolute shit and that's fine. बहुत दिन ऐसे होते हैं कि आपको बेड से उठने की वो यही नहीं है, जज्बा ही नहीं है कि भैया वी डोंट वांट टू गो नी टू वर्क. ये सबके साथ होता है, तो हमारे साथ भी होता ही एज आर्टिस्ट. सो आई थिंक दैट ये but life goes on, the show goes on, as they say, show must go on. And otherwise I've had so many bad days, thanks to people's judgments and stuff like that. I would have to close my doors and sat at home only na. But just because people are saying you are this, you are that, that doesn't make me. आपने बोलने से अगर हमको होता कुछ या हम हो जाते, जो आप हमको अपशब्द बोलते हैं उससे हमको अगर इतना इफ़ेक्ट होता, तो फिर तो हम तो कब के ख़त्म हो जाते ना. 16 ईयर्स हमने सर्वाइव किया है, तो और आगे भी करते जाएंगे, खुश करते जाएंगे आपको. चाहे आप माने ना माने, जेंडर पे सवाल उठाएं, जो दिखावे पे सवाल उठाएं, बट सुनते तो आप भी हमारे गाने हैं, तो सुनिए, सराहिए. दिस इज़ द होल थिंग ना. लाइक माई होल थिंग इज़ दैट यू हैव टू गो टुगेदर एज अ कम्युनिटी. और जब हमको अलग कर दिया है LGBT कम्युनिटी को, हमको कोई मेंबरशिप कार्ड देके हमको ये नहीं किया गया, हमको अलग किया गया है. इसके लिए हमको अलग कम्युनिटी, समुदाय बोलते हैं. वी ऑल्सो आर पार्ट ऑफ द सोसाइटी. हमारे भी वही आशाएं हैं जो आपके हैं, और हमारे भी फैमिलीज़ हैं, फ्रेंड्स हैं. हमको भी वही करना है. 2 हाथों से जो ताली मारते हैं हम, मेरी बहनें, उन्हीं 2 हाथों से काम करवाइए ना, इज्जत से कमवाइए. सो इट इज़ लाइक दैट.
Do trolls and negative comments bother you? How do you tackle them?
It used to bother me. मुझे बहुत bother करता था, because back then, when I had started in 2007 on TV, because that time we didn't have social media. तो तब ना बहुत लगता था, when people, तब YouTube था, तो तभी बहुत लगता था. जो YouTube के comments थे ना, बहुत बहुत सारी चीज़ें बोली जाती थी एंड स्टफ लाइक दैट. आफ्टर अ पॉइंट आई वाज जस्ट लाइक बट आई एम डूइंग दिस बिकॉज आई वॉन्ट. जब आप टीवी पे दिखाई देते हो एज अ ट्रांस पर्सन और LGBT पर्सन, ये सिर्फ मेरे लिए नहीं है, ये उन सारे बच्चों के लिए है जिनको ये मौका नहीं मिला टीवी पे होने का या फिर रिप्रेजेंट होने का. तो अगर मेरे थ्रू, अगर मैं एक मीडियम हूँ, मैं एक ज़रिया हूँ उन तक पहुँचने की, तो आई हैव टू कॉन्सेंट्रेट ऑन दैट कि मुझे ये बच्चे देख रहे हैं जो मेरे तरह हैं और उनको शायद उनके माँ बाप ने इतना प्यार नहीं दिया जितना मेरे माँ बाप ने दिया है. तो उनका क्या होगा? You know, girls can look at female heroines, boys can look at male heroes. What do trans people do? So they also need representation. So if I am weak in front of them, that's why I did not let trolls affect me. इस वीडियो के नीचे भी बहुत सारे लोग बोलेंगे, अच्छा भी बोलेंगे, बुरा भी बोलेंगे, कुछ तो लोग कहेंगे, लोगों का काम है कहना, कहते रहो. So my thing is that to balance out in the universe, I think for every good there is a bad. You will get good comments, bad comments. You can't make everyone happy. It is not possible. So whoever is happy, please be happier. Whoever is affected by my presence, कि मेरा ये भी कहना है कि अगर मेरे ट्रांसजेंडर होने से आपका स्ट्रेट होना या मर्द होना, मर्दानगी आपकी इतनी डगमगाती है, तो आप कितने मर्द हो? क्योंकि मेरे को आपकी उपस्थिति से कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. You know, आपके मर्द होने से, औरत होने से हमें कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं, तो आपको इतना क्यों प्रॉब्लम, इतना कतराते क्यों है? So that means you have to concentrate on your gender and orientation. That is weak, not me. So yeah, for the trolls, I think.
What is that one thing you would like to tell to Rani 5 years back?
I think 5 years back also I was so this fabulous only, and I used to wake up only saying that क्रांति. उठ के ही मैं बोलती थी कि क्रांति करनी है, क्योंकि but if you ask me 15 years back, you know, of that Sushant, I would tell that Sushant that don't worry, things will get better. You have to believe in yourself because you have the power to make change. You're a path maker and not a path breaker. So you are going to make sure that we don't have a place at the table. We have a new table only, and I will get that table. So you know, that is me telling my younger self at 15.
Right.
Not 15. 15 years back will be 17. Okay. So now you do your maths.
How do you look on this journey of living and embracing yourself in front of this world that can sometimes be a little harsh?
You know, in my journey, there have been a lot of ups and downs. बहुत ऊंच नीच हुई है. But I think that अगर ये नहीं होता तो मेरी journey इतनी मज़ेदार नहीं होती. I wouldn't have had that experience of the good, bad, ugly, beautiful, everything. And I think that everybody who's actually not believed in me also, thank you. Thank you very much, because through that, I think that also gave me the power to be like, why? Do I have to, you know, do things that I'm not comfortable doing to be important? Or can I do it my way? And I can tell you, all of you, as someone who's not from within the industry, I've never had anybody in the performing arts. I think my parents have been, you know, my father was in the government, he was a government servant, and my mother was a banker. So, and they made this. So, and I believed in myself, and I think that I just want to tell everyone that might have these doubts that नहीं यार आज नहीं हमसे नहीं हो रहा है, you know. अब मुझे 16 साल लगे हैं, तो आप इमेजिन कर सकते हैं, शायद आपको 16 दिन लग जाए, आपको 20 साल लग जाए, but you have to believe in yourself. I think there is no other way to do it, and work hard. You have to work very hard.
Your work for the LGBTQ has been phenomenal. Today too, you've decided to donate your earnings to a trust. What is the driving factor behind this?
देखिए, जो आज हम शो करने वाले हैं ना, उसका जो भी मुझे मेरा चेक है, जो मेरे को पैसे मिल रहे हैं, वो मैं अपने ही बहनों को देने वाली हूँ, जिनको एज आई सेड अर्लियर ये मौके नहीं दिए गए ना. तो अब उनको हम शिक्षित करके, उनको पढ़ा के, उनको जॉब्स मिले, उनको ये ऐसा भी नहीं है कि सभी नाचती हैं, सभी धंधा करती हैं, सभी गाती हैं, सभी यू नो रोड पे खड़ी रहती हैं. ये ऐसी भी ट्रांसजेंडर्स हैं जो जिनको पढ़ना है, लिखना है. You know, they want to be doctors, they want to be lawyers, they want to be professional, you know, productive members of society. Today, if I'm sitting here in front of you and speaking this with such articulation, you must understand there are many more like me. but they don't have the opportunity, उनको मौका ही नहीं दिया गया. तो इस वजह से I have planned क्या हो ही गया है, and I will be giving it to Kinnar Ma Trust, and Salma Guru is a very senior in the Kinnar Samaj. तो उन्होंने बहुत सारी लड़कियों को रिहैबिलिटेट किया है, उनका ख्याल रख के. इनफैक्ट शी हैज़ अ स्पेशल चाइल्ड हु इज़ ट्रांसजेंडर, एंड आई वुड लाइक टू इवन डोनेट फॉर हर स्कूल. एंड what is a driving force? I get emotional. This is the driving force, that I see कि बहुत सारे मेरे समुदाय की जो बहनें हैं, जो भाई हैं, उनको बहुत बुरी तरह से एक्चुअली दर्शाया भी गया है हमारी मीडिया में. ये भी आप सुन ही लें, 90s और उसके पहले और उसके थोड़े बाद भी, आज तक भी इतने अच्छे से दर्शाया नहीं जाता ट्रांसजेंडर लोगों को. फिल्मों में उनका मजाक उड़ाया जाता है, उनको ऐसे दिखाया जाता है कि उनको छेड़ना कॉमेडी है, उनको छेड़ोगे तो अगर आप ये अपने बच्चों को सिखा रहे हैं आपके फिल्मों के द्वारा, तो ये मुझे लगता है कि गलत है. क्योंकि हर जेंडर को उतनी तो इज्जत मिलनी चाहिए. दैट मच डिग्निटी यू मस्ट गिव, दैट यू कांट नॉर्मलाइज रेप, you cannot normalize molesting any gender. So my community has been objectified like crazy, and I think that's not fair. So I think we're kind of changing that narrative now. You see people like me. Before me there is Lakshmi, Gauri Sawant, Lakshmi Tripathi, Salma ji is there, Abhina, Simran, who have represented India internationally. Dr. Trinetra is there now on social media. She's doing fantastic work. Then my queer children are there. So there is all of these people that are there doing great work. तो हम इनको ऐसे क्यों नहीं दर्शाते कि ये डॉक्टर हैं? There's another Dr. Ruth John Paul who has opened a clinic only for transgender people in Hyderabad. So why don't we talk about these stories? या क्या आपको सिर्फ हमको एक वन डायमेंशनल दिखाना है? तो ये भी गलत है. आई थिंक आई फील बैड, एंड आई थिंक दैट it's my community, it's my family. I might not have been born out of their womb. We're one family, and I think that everybody deserves respect. So if I can do, अगर मेरे पास थोड़ा अगर ज़्यादा है तो मैं क्यों ना दूँ?
Do you think society has started accepting the LGBTQ with open arms, including our films and art? Or do you think we still have a long way to go?
The process has started. I think that many more people are now aware. पहले awareness ही नहीं थी. तो अब क्या है, OTT platforms पे ज़्यादा stories आने लगी हैं. There are very nice films like Super Deluxe is there. All of these films that talk about good representation of trans people. Even Chandigarh Kare Ashiki, the storyline was very, very good. I thought that the whole family angle to it and the family dynamics within with the transgender child was very, very well done. There are others also that have made an effort. So ये हो रहा है, ये change आप देख रहे हैं. But I think एक policy level पे change होनी चाहिए, ताकि क्या होता है ना, फिर लोगों को थोड़ा तो ये होता है ना कि लॉ लीगली उनको कोई थोड़ा तो खौफ रहे यार, या तो हम लोग को वी विल बी वायलेटेड, एवरी वॉकिंग टॉकिंग वी आर वायलेटेड. तो ये नहीं होना चाहिए. आई थिंक ऑन अ पॉलिसी लेवल, ऑन अ वेरी बेस लेवल, पीपल शुड बी एजुकेटेड that we are as human as you, and that's it. Yes, in fact, just yesterday at a shelter home for transgender people, there were people who came and thrashed them, and if you see also, there are a couple of companies, corporates. My background is in industrial psychology. I'm an industrial psychologist, so I can tell you this firsthand, that not many institutions, maybe barring 3 or 4 I know of, that actually have policies that safeguard transgender people at the workplace. One is the Lalit Group of Hospitality, Godrej is there, IBM is there. बहुत कम ऐसे organizations हैं जो अपने employees को पहली बात तो वो secure रखते हैं. There are very few. Now for example, अगर आपने transgender किसी employee को लिया, उनके policies उनके लिए हैं ही नहीं. So something happens to them at the workplace, nobody is responsible for it. So I think that also even in our laws that the government makes, you know, we need to also be considerate about transgender people. You know, even at the policy for discrimination against sexual harassment at the workplace, there is no mention of transgender people, and transgender people are most you know, women and transgender people are the most you know, exposed to these kind of assaults at workplace. I think there has to be provisions made, policies have to be made. It's not something we are asking for, which is हमको मुफ्त में दो, हमको ये करो, हमको वो करो. We are not asking for special favors, but my community deserves respect, and that respect has to be given.
Your work has been honored several times, all these magazines and portals that have honored you. Does it feel satisfying?
Well, I think that I have been an ambassador in many more ways than one. I have been representing the country, whether it is for philanthropy, for conventions, for my performance art, for singing, dancing, taking the Indian culture internationally, and in fact, in my Hollywood debut show on television, which is on television right now on Paramount Plus, my first round I sang two Hindi songs where the judges didn't understand anything, so it was a risk for me that I would get out क्योंकि उनको समझा ही नहीं कुछ. But I sang, I stayed true to my country. I don't see people, of course there were a lot of people that commended it, they applauded it, but I have never, honestly, can I tell you something, my state government has never felicitated me, never, and I don't know what else am I supposed to do. I've taken you, like my billboards are on Times Square and all that, like, and my TV shows are getting nominated internationally, but here in my state, I think this is the least we can do. So I think that there is always two sides of the coin. There are people who support us like y'all and tell our stories, but there are also people that, I don't know, maybe they're, पर क्यों शर्म आनी चाहिए? अगर हम आप भारत को अंतर्राष्ट्रीय स्तर पे रिप्रेजेंट करते हैं तो आपको तो नाज होना चाहिए ना, हम पे गर्व होना चाहिए. नहीं है, अब क्या करें, करते रहेंगे.
Rani, like I said, you come across as a very confident, a very straightforward person, someone who always speaks their heart. Have you always been like this? If not, how has the journey until here been?
I think everyone's journey makes them, you know, a different person. But at the very base of my soul, I'm a middle class, you know, Konkani family, and I have very middle class values. तो जितना भी हम जहाँ पर भी जाए, हमको अपना, you know, लोणचं पाहिजे. हाँ, आम्हाला लोणचं आणि पापड पाहिजे. सो इट्स लाइक दैट. म्हणजे इट्स सॉरी, मेरे से थोड़ा मराठी कोंकणी निकलता इधर उधर, बट माई थिंग इज दैट, यू नो, आई हैव नेवर फॉरगॉटन वेयर आई केम फ्रॉम. I'll never do it. I can never forget it. So my thing is that a lot of people think that, oh, what a lush life, you know, wow, so confident. Of course there have been people who have taken advantage of me also. और टाइम आने पे वो आएंगे, यू नो, बाहर, वो मतलब, एंड दैट्स नॉट माई जॉब, दैट्स नॉट माई जर्नी. मैंने उस जर्नी से सीखा, उस इंस्टेंट सिचुएशन से मैंने सीखा बहुत कुछ, बट ये मैं उनको, आई विल नॉट गिव देम what they deserve. That universe will give, given also, I think. So my journey has been fantastic because I have always believed in myself, and सब कुछ मेरे गोद में नहीं ऐसे आके प्रकट नहीं हुआ, वो मेरे को काम करना पड़ा उसके लिए. Like for example, now also currently I have a slip disc, and my doctor will kill me if he sees this, but काम तो करना है. अगर अपने आप के लिए नहीं तो मेरी वो बहनों के लिए जो आपने आज भी देखा होगा आते वक्त या जाते वक्त काम से, उनके लिए काम करना है.
Okay, you also mentioned about 19-year-old guys hitting on you. How do you deal with all this attention and love?
मुझे तो attention पसंद है. I'll be honest. Why not? And if younger boys are hitting on me, it makes me feel younger. वैसे कुछ होता तो है नहीं क्योंकि मेरे को टाइम ही नहीं है. Honestly, I'm just from one city to another city to another city to this, that. Till I reach home, I forget to eat dinner only. Sometimes I pass out. So I think get my state awards, get my national awards first, and then we can go on a date. Yeah.
Lastly, what is that one thing you would like to say to the world? to people who love you, to people who troll you, and to everyone in general.
Who hates you?
To all of you, love me, hate me, but you cannot ignore Rani Kohinoor. That is the reality of today. You can't ignore me. और आप कहीं ना कभी कहीं ना कहीं मुझे परफॉर्म करते देखेंगे और एन्जॉय भी करेंगे. आपको जितना भी ना फर्स्ट यू विल बी लाइक ये क्या है. आपको देख के हम नहीं बोलते ना ये क्या है, मतलब आप भी उठ के चले आते हैं वो मुँह लेके, तो आपको रोज़ रोज़ बोलते नहीं होंगे ना कि क्या है. तो आप हैं जो हैं, हम हैं जो हैं. तो आई थिंक दैट आई जस्ट वांट टू टेल all of you that thank you, but especially to people who love me and have always supported me in my journey, thank you very much, because I would be nothing without you. And to the ones who want to hate me, do it, but watch my videos, monetize my content. Thank you.
We hope that you guys enjoyed this chat with him. If you did, do comment and tell us. Also, don't forget to subscribe for more. Anjal Chaudhary, camera person Babaji, India Forums, Mumbai.